Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight, and welcome back to Starbound Frackin Univserse. When we last left off, I believe we were talking about building ourselves a little home, and I think I found a planet that would be suitable for that particular need, and I've decided it's probably going to be here, and we might actually do something with this pre-existing stuff. I'm not entirely sure what yet, but I like it, and there's this. We do need to do a bit of fixing up, because this planet had a cybersphere or something mini biome, so there's all of these things kind of hanging out inside it. So basically this episode is going to be us doing a little bit of spring cleaning, such as it is. And ooh, there is... Oops. Come on over, Mr. Bug. That was a forest drone. Nothing too exciting there. Alright. Also, as always, whenever we do something building-oriented, I just have admin mode on, just so that we don't have to deal with the frustrations and tribulations of, well, damage and hunger and stuff like that. Because that is tedious and boring, and who wants to deal with that, right? Excuse me. Anyway, so let's do a brief look at some of what the terraforming that we have already done looks like here. I like this music. It's different, but it's okay. What is this? Glow Scout Visor. Okay. We have a Ivok hook. Alright, that's pretty cool. We have an optics genetic material. We have a little bit of that. We have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So some interesting stuff. Just smash that. And I'm to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure where specifically I want to build, excuse me, our home. But I'm thinking probably closer to those steam springs over there. At the very least, that might become like part of a village or something. I kind of like building my bases on hills and stuff, so we can look down on the plebeians with, you know, yes, with an air of superiority or something. I don't know. No, probably not. That doesn't sound like what I would want to be in life. I don't want to be that guy who's, like, staring down on people going, "Ha-ha, I'm better than you because I have money." I mean, money's nice and all, but it shouldn't be the only measure in which you judge someone, right? Right. Anyway. This planet used to be basically just a big old swamp. It is not anymore. I should probably stop picking that stuff. Oh, there was also a... I haven't even been over here yet. So I kind of started circling the planet while just doing my initial scouting. Started going that way. Then I started going this way. You know what? What the heck? Let's grab all the bees and or drones that we can. Look, we have a little deer now. I'm probably gonna relocate these graves. They're not really necessary. I've turned, like, I think 60% of this planet, which was originally a bog, by the way, into, you know, I shouldn't kill these things while I have admin mode on. That feels like just straight up cheating. I don't mind admin, so I don't have to deal with hunger or anything like that. But, I don't want to go too overboard with. You know what? I feel like I might want to use an alpine microformer on this general area. Man, this is some nice music, isn't it? This is also a very nice planet. Now the question, you know what? Actually, where's my bulldozer? We have a bulldozer around here somewhere, don't we? Yes, here you are, Mr. Small Bulldozer. I'll just stick you in there like that. Spawn you like that. Now this is from a mod I showcased long ago, so, yeah, look at the old mod spotlight, you'll get a look at that. Though, in that, I did kind of overlook the fact that if you hold the space button, you can suck up all your stuff, so that's a cool feature. Just suck up all that, stuff. And as you can see, I have collected a vast treasure trove of useful materials. In fact, you know what? We'll get back to that dozer in a second, but I think just kind of chop away at some of the dirt here. And we will replace it with cobblestone. So I'll leave this here, because I think this is going to be sort of like the plateau of things. Alright. And we're going to want to fill this mountainside in at some point as well. Though, of course, some of it's probably eventually going to become our underground lab and everything, so I probably shouldn't get too carried away with this. So, you know what? I won't. We'll worry about that by the by, such as it is. Alright. Well, I guess as long as I leave that right there, I'll know exactly what things look like. Alright, so let us get started on our base-imagigging, such as it is, as I've already said. Alright. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to focus too much on actually filling this mountain in. I'm just gonna... We're gonna work mostly on just making it look nice. Or, you know, getting the basics of it looking nice in order. And we'll clear everything up as we go along. The main idea here, this is just gonna be an episode of me kind of talking and doing stuff, I think. Nothing too fancy this time around. I just killed that because it was kind of annoying me. And I think that was a justifiable kill. So, you know, there we go. And I'll fill some of this in. I'm probably not going to do anything here. And a key thing, of course, is we do want this to look nice. So let's kind of chop off some of this grass here. Preferably in a fashion that doesn't completely muck things up. And then we'll kind of do something like this. Just put some rock in there like that. Like that. So I want this to have a nice gradual slope. None of this silly, you know, falling forever kind of stuff. Also, you may have noticed that the ground is actually quite smooth compared to what you may expect. And this is from a mod I installed a little while back, which I never actually did a mod spotlight or anything for it. I just kind of added it and didn't really say anything about it. But it's a very nice little mod that effectively gives more smooth terrain to blocks. Mostly vanilla blocks. I don't think it touches, like, Frackin Univserse or anything like that. But, it is very nice for what it does. I, for one, am happy for it. Because, I mean, the smoother transition, it makes things look nicer, doesn't it? I mean, this is actually kind of ugly as sin right here, the way I've got some of this going here. So let's kind of fix that up. Basically, just kind of rounds off the corners for blocks a little bit. There we are. And I think it's called just like dynamic terrain or something like that, in case you're interested in checking it out yourself, which I would highly recommend. Though I do also kind of hope at some point, Chucklefish said they aren't planning it, but it'd be nice if at some point they did actually add something kind of like Terraria's hammer tool. Just, you know what, I'm gonna kill this because it's annoying me. It does look pretty badass though, doesn't it? Love the fact Frackin Univserse adds all those, like, kind of re-adds in the mini-bosses. I'm pretty sure that's Frackin Univserse's doing and not, vanilla Starbound, though I could be mistaken. But I'm pretty sure I am not mistaken. Could be, but I'm quite certain I'm not, so yes, we'll go with that for the time being. Now, I could have gone with the bigger dozer, by the way, compared to this little mini dozer that we've got going, but I figured I wanted the smaller one because there'd be more... Excuse me. Probably shouldn't have had breakfast right before I started recording. But I figured having something that was a little smaller would be more beneficial in the long run. But it does come with its own problems, because it doesn't have quite as much room to dig. So let's just hold on the old spacebar button. We'll hold left click, right click. Oh god. And I am now digging up the terrain that I previously wanted to keep. Dang. Alright. This is going to require a fair amount of work. Don't get me wrong. But it's going to be worth it at the end of the day, because we're going to have a very nice looking house, I think. That was also probably not a smart idea. Alright. Yes. Placed all of the dirt with delicious, delicious cobblestone. It is getting dark, so in a moment we're probably going to want to What? Livestock grow a lot faster when you toss them some cattle feed to munch on. Grind up corn in your hand mill or extractor to get some. Well, that's a new one. I appreciate it. That's pretty cool, but that is a new one to me. Alright. Okay, so let us fill this in. I think... Actually, you know what? No. I should fill the whole dang thing in now. Or at least leave openings so I could fill the whole dang thing in later. But I figure this bit right here is probably just going to be the, like the opening gates, the front gates to our lovely home and manor and lab. So, I'm not going to worry too much about filling all this in. Let's just get rid of these vines so that we can fill it in. And since I don't expect this is going to be very visible once we've completely covered everything, that's stupid. You know what? I can't. There you go. I'm sorry, Mr. Snail, but you were ruining my perfect world. Anyway, I guess the question also becomes at this point, what do we do once we're done building? I'm not entirely sure how many episodes it's going to take to get through our building, and we might want to do a lot. I'm kind of wondering what exactly the future of Starbound on this channel is going to be, in fact. Because I just kind of had this thought to myself just recently, like, what if this is, like, the end? Like, what if I don't have anything else cool to show off? And this is where Starbound will kind of end. And what we'll want to do from there. So I do get a little bit concerned sometimes with things on the channel, because I want to make sure that the channel continues to grow and it stays healthy and everything. And right now, RimWorld and Starbound are like the big, quote-unquote, money makers, such as they are. Mostly in the sense that they're what draw a lot of... they're what get all the views, really. It's not so much the money as the views. But, I don't know, I'm getting really kind of self-conscious about even using the term money makers in regards to something on my channel. I mean, I like to think that, there's a pretty good understanding of where we all are together here on the channel, but I don't know, I don't like talking finances too much. Though, I should say, for anyone curious, that as far as, like, the financial aspect of the channel is concerned, it is doing pretty well. So there's not really anything to worry about there. I mean, it's not something where I, be like making an imminent announcement about how I'm gonna quit my day job and, start doing this like as a career or anything. But it is enough that if the channel continues growing at its current rate, and if I, keep working at, making myself better, then I figure this channel can go places as far as stuff like that is concerned. Which I think is a good thing. I want to see the channel go places, and who knows where it will stop. But I am excited to see where stuff like that goes. But anyway, getting back to, like, the whole, I guess, some concerns about, I guess, just with content on the channel. Because, sometimes I figure that I'm not doing enough. And, I mean, not even sometimes. I mean, I know I have a lot more to learn, I think, about the kind of the businessy side of YouTube, in the sense of, like, learning to better market myself and optimize, making sure that my videos show up in search results and stuff like that. Because, the easier I make it for people to find this channel, then the more likely it is that the channel will continue to grow and be able to do even more stuff. Because my real goal, short term with the channel, is to make sure it's earning enough money, like on the business side of things, I guess, to, something that sustains itself, so that, I could use the money I make on the channel to buy more games, to do more stuff on the channel, and so on and so forth. Which, yeah, I guess that's really all I really had to say about that. That's really my, like, prime concern with the business side of YouTube at the moment, anyway, is just, I want to make sure the channel is big enough, or it's healthy enough, I guess is the term I should use, that I can just keep doing it, basically. Since money is, unfortunately, an object, so, yeah. I'm gonna make sure that I balance the YouTube-ness of my life with the other stuff in my life, other responsibilities and things. Just make sure that I can do the best of both to the best of my ability. Best of both? Do both to the best of my ability. Something to that effect is where I'm getting at, I guess, with that talk. And I guess as for what I was saying earlier, is like, I guess when I look at the channel, as I sometimes have been as of late, and I think it's probably the wrong way to look at it, and I've been trying to kind of catch myself whenever I sort of seem to fall down that path, is thinking to myself, well, if I don't get X number of views on a video, then it's, like, not worth doing, because, like, thinking like a TV network executive or something like that. But I don't think that is really the smartest way to handle things on the channel. That's not really the optimal way of handling things on the channel, because, after all, when I first started doing Starbound content, for instance, it didn't really, like, get that much traction at first, but now it is probably, like, the single most successful thing I've done on the channel as of the recording of this episode anyway, so, you know, the idea, I think, especially with YouTube, and I guess part of this talk is for anyone who is interested in doing YouTube-related stuff themselves, is that sometimes it takes a while for things to get, and I guess this goes with anything in life, really, is it can sometimes take a while for your dreams to really take off, and for the stuff you want to see happen in your life to really get going. And generally, with that in mind, the best time to start making your dreams into a reality is yesterday, but today is second best, so, you know, go for it. At least that's the way I try to think. Like, there's a lot of stuff in my life where I look back on it and I think to myself, you know, I really should have started trying to do, you know, this thing sooner. And that perhaps, I mean, who knows where my life would be if I had the confidence to have tried certain things, like maybe even this YouTube channel a couple of years ago compared to just, actually, how old is the channel now? It's going to be approaching its 2nd year anniversary, so yeah, if I had started the channel, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, what would be different? But at the same time, I also, like, I try to think of myself as one of those people who, if I had a time machine and could magically go back and, like, change anything in my life, I wouldn't, just on the grounds that, for good or bad, everything that has ever happened to me has shaped me into who I am right now, and even if my life could be better, would I really want to, you know, change things? Because fundamentally, I would not be the same person if I did go and change things. You know? If that makes any sense whatsoever? I don't know. I figure just random philosophizing here is the way to go. Though I figure future building episodes I may go back to the old just kind of montaginess where I sort of just fast forward through things, do things at double speed, triple speed, 100 times speed, or, you know, just something to that effect. Depends on what you guys want to see. If you want to just kind of have these things where I'm just kind of talking about whatever happens to be coming into my head at any given point. And the topics, trust me, my mind goes places. That sounded very ominous, didn't it? But, yeah. I'm always just letting my mind wander. Sometimes when I shouldn't be letting it wander and should be focusing on the task at hand. But it's kind of who I am, really. I need to be just wandering with my mind. Because, what are you? You're just a body part. Alright, don't need to worry about you. Some of my best ideas have come while I'm just kind of wandering from one thought to the next. Though it is also admittingly kind of frustrating at times, I imagine, as a listener, to try to keep up with, like, where the hell I'm going with anything, when sometimes I just, without warning, start talking about something completely different to what I was just talking about a second ago, so, I don't know, I figure the key with that is just to kind of work on creating a bit of a balance between just sort of letting my mind do what it does best and properly staying on target for so that at least I'm coherent and people can understand where I'm going when I start talking about random stuff. But anyway, yeah, getting back to... Actually, no, I guess we'll just kind of keep going with this train of thought as I go. I don't know. I guess probably the good thing about these building-type episodes is that they are pretty low-key, so they are a good way for me to work on just my commentating. I figure that's something I also want to get better at, because I guess tying into where I was earlier with talking about sort of, I guess, my hopes and dreams and fears about the future of the channel and continuing to grow it and, like, just doing new stuff with it, is that one of the things I figure I always need to work on is just improving my commentating and my communication type skills, because communication is kind of key, and if you have no personality, then, well, no personality is kind of a personality of its own, in a sense, depending on your point of view, I guess. But I would rather have an endearing, lovable personality than no personality. But then again, does anyone really have, quote-unquote, no personality? I think that would be rather unfair. And some people just don't have a very exciting personality and are just very low-key, but then again, sometimes that's what you want out of an individual, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, so we have this nice mountainy terrain, and I think what I am going to do is, and do I even bother filling in this vast cavernous gap here? I'm trying to think to myself, how big do I really want my personal mansion to be? Well, mansion slash lab slash whatever else. And I don't know, this seems of reasonable. What are you? You a new bug? You were just never Mudstag. I only want one of every bug, so you can go away for now, sir. Now we've picked up some new and interesting stuff. I mean, we could have a little graveyard. We could have some cool stuff with that, if we so chose. And this is pretty reasonably big. I mean, I could always make it bigger if I want it. Ends really on what exactly I want. No, you know what? This is actually, I think, of reasonable size. So let's let us start sort of making our cliff go down here. I don't want it to go out too much here because we do need to be able to reach it. Let's take this stack right here. We'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And, yeah, let's kind of keep going back and forth with this, and I think everything is going to work out just fine. I like this. Like, look how nice and smooth that is. That is some nice stuff. Actually, I'm pretty sure, I forget the name of the mod. Dynamic terrain is what I'm going to say it is called for now. I hope that's right. But I'm pretty sure I did add it to the little mod collection that I have in all my video descriptions. So you should be able to find it there, but if it's not, and if you go to check and it's not there, just shout at me in the comments and I'll make sure to add it in. Because it is a very nice mod, especially if you are one for the aesthetics and want a nice looking smooth slope that is not quite as blocky. And there's nothing wrong with kind of the blocky, edgy style that Starbound has, but personally, I would rather more of these sort of smoothed off edges, which I sort of hope that, even though, like I said earlier, and I feel like I trailed off on that thought actually now that I think about it, but I hope that Chucklefish at some point sort of reconsiders and adds in a feature similar to the hammer in Terraria, so that you can kind of adjust the corners of blocks so that you can make things a little bit smoother if you want, or maybe edgier even if you prefer to be edgy. Some people do. I am not one of them. I prefer nice, smooth, rounded edges. They're just nicer that way, in my humble opinion. And, yeah. Alright, so we should be able to get a nice, smooth thing going here. So, for the end of this, actually, it's probably time to wrap this episode up. But yeah, I'll sort of, at this point, we should transfer, I think, slowly from going into being like a cobblestone mountain back into being a dirt mountain. Or dirt hill, I guess, is kind of more correct. Bit of an abrupt edge there because different blocks don't blend perfectly into each other, but it still looks nice. And nice is all I care about. Well, more or less. Because, I mean, you do like your stuff to look nice, don't you? I do. There we go. That is beautiful. And we'll kind of level it off here. I guess we'll have to fill all this in, because it would be kind of weird otherwise. I'll leave that little gap there. A little bit of sunlight can come in or something. I don't know. Might have a nice effect. But anyway, I think that's where we're going to wrap things off for now. So, sorry if this episode was just kind of me rambling and not too much happened. Just kind of doing a little bit of precision terraforming here. Make our new home a home. Yeah. Just a bit of random kind of stream of consciousness type commentary on stuff. So, yeah. Alright. That's going to do it for now. So until the next time, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button or maybe leave me a comment down below to let me know what you're thinking. I will see you all in the next video.